Guys, this is my newest journal. I'm recording this a little different. If you can tell, we're on the floor. My lighting is absolutely terrible, and my space was not working for this, so I thought, what the heck, I'm going to sit here on the floor and I'm going to record this. I was asked by my sister-in-law to do a journal for her son, which would be my nephew, and he grew up in the city, or as city as we get in Montana, and now he works on a farm in the country in Montana, but a ways away from the rest of us. So I created this. He is an avid writer. I don't know about physical writing, but he does amazing pieces on his Facebook page about the country life and about farming life. So I made this in hopes that he will use it to write down his stories and thoughts in. So hopefully he enjoys this. I printed a lot of his pictures from his Facebook page too to use in here to personalize a little bit more. This is one of his pictures. And this little quote here was in the kit Country Piece. I did a journal about a month ago. I had a lot of extra pieces because my printer wasn't working. So I used a few of them throughout here because they fit perfect in this. In the composition book, I left it as was and altered it. So I did not take the spine apart or anything. I just altered it as it was. I wrapped the cover in craft paper. And then there's cardstock on the front and cardstock on the back. I wrapped the entire cover in that craft paper. I did some twine around the picture and here on the side. And it has a twine binding. I wanted to keep it all pretty simple. It is for a guy, and keeping with the farm theme, I thought. So let's check it out. Just some twine. I left a lot on here because it is kind of chunky, and it will probably get chunkier whatever he puts in here. So on the inside, I only used cardstock paper to create pockets. I believe I put, now that I did it, I can't remember, 3 or 4 pockets in here. And there is cardstock to create those. There's cardstock on the cover. I made pockets. And I kind of left it unembellished. You'll see the embellishments that I did in here, but I, again, wanted it for him to be able to write in and not have a lot of stuff in his way. So this picture I actually was going to put on the cover or put it somewhere, and I thought, nope, I will just put it on some cardstock and then leave the back blank for him to write on. That is him and his mother, and I love this picture, so of course I had to add it, and I hope he likes that it's in here. So like I said, there is pockets throughout here. I have lightly coffee dyed all the papers. I kind of did this the very hard way. I sprayed each individual page, and then after all the pages were sprayed, I went through with a hairdryer and dried each individual page. It took me a while, and my arms and shoulders were very sore, but I love how it turned out. So this, and there's lots of stenciling in here too, you'll see that. I took the front 2 pages, every 25 pages I made a pocket. There's paper on the front, paper on the back, or front and back. And then there's a large pocket in here. I just included some pictures that he had on his page. And I thought he could write on the back if he wanted to about his experiences. And again, there's lots of stenciling. Every page has been altered. And I left the embellishments to a minimum. There's a lot of what I call weeds. They're not weeds, but that was my thought as I was doing this. There's lots of weeds throughout this book. It fits the theme, I thought, and it leaves the embellishments pretty simple. And then I did a lot of flip outs with pictures just to add a different interest. This is another piece from the Country Piece kit. Originally it didn't print out because my printer was freaking out on me, but it worked perfect for this. Again, lots of stenciling. More embellishments. The country piece kit again. Thought he might be able to write some little notes under there and then put it right back down. Lots of washi tape. And I did the stenciling with Distress ink, and then I sprayed it with the coffee, and I love it. It was diluted coffee, but I love how you'll see on some papers that it blended so well with it. I really like how that turned out. Like I said, I wanted to keep it very writable for him. I did a fair amount of quotes in here and just put it on some cardstock, craft paper, some die cuts, and again, washi tape. But I had some washi tape that was in the perfect colors for this journal. I absolutely love how these papers came out. I hope he enjoys this because I love how they came out. I have a couple of these little tuck spots in here. There were some pieces from my stash, so I just put them in here as a little tuck spot for one of his pictures. It's one of my favorite. Just some washi tape, die cut, and this is some masking paper that I did some stamping on. There's some duct tape where the pockets are, just to reinforce the pages because it got pretty heavy with all the cardstock. I imagine he can put his letters, mementos, whatever he wants in there. Again, you'll see lots of washi tape. I thought it dressed up the page nicely without just going overboard. It was a little hard at first when I started doing this because it was for a guy and I didn't want it over embellished. So, of course, no lace, no frilly stuff like that in here. So it took me a while to get a rhythm down where I was using certain things and making it look good. This is my son's favorite, one of his favorite pages. He loved that I took this picture, cut it out, you know, fussy cut around him, washi tape, and a weed, as we called it. That's just some corrugated from a box I had. Some little circle punches, and masking paper with a stamp. I do love how these papers turned out. I think they just turned out great. And here I took one of the pictures, layered it on some black cardstock, and created a pocket. I just put a tag in there just so he's aware that, you know, he can write on there and then, you know, put whatever he wants inside there. Just did some more stamping and use that as embellishments. Another pocket. Nice big pockets to put all sorts of things in there. So I actually love how these little weed clusters went. I really like that. The first one I did, I wasn't so sure how that would look, but I really like how they turned out. And this was another, the first picture you saw where I fussy cut him out. This was some of the image left. So I fussy cut around the trees. This piece was an extra piece out of a die cut, but I used it here just to create the circle back there. Did a little punch with a leaf, some washi tape, and yes, that was intentional. At first it wasn't, but then I made it work, and I really like how it turned out. And of course when I sprayed the stencil, you know what, it ran everywhere, and I love how that turned out. Another picture that I made for a pocket. I just took a large index card, did a little die cut, a tea bag, washi tape. This is another page from the Country Piece kit that I had. Another little cluster that I did. I don't know if you can see this one. And that one I just have some washi tape, masking paper here. This is actually a piece of the photo that was left over. I don't like to waste anything, so I just punched a circle. Masking paper, a die cut. So in the picture before where that green circle, it's actually the piece that came out of here on a green one. And again, I don't like to waste, so I put it to use. Some of the stamps I just stamped right on the page just to do it a little different. It's another cluster that I did. A pocket. This is another piece from the Country Piece kit. Didn't print right the first time, so I thought I'll use that in there. He can write on it. This is another page that I fussy cut him out, put some washi tape there, and there were clouds in the picture. You can see just beyond him there's clouds in there. So I have a cloud punch that I don't use very often, so I punched out some clouds and put it on there, and I love how that turned out. And I showed that to my son, and he really liked it. This and the other fussy cut page he really liked. Just did some stamping there. Another tuck spot. You can write on that. I love that picture. I almost didn't want to give him that picture because I thought that was so cute, the little frog. And I love this picture. This one, you have to write around on the page because I secured the whole thing down, but I just put washi tape back here and then the picture. I love that picture. It's probably my favorite page. It's so simple, but I really like it. And that one I just, whoops, as I hit the camera, Just masking tape again, cut out some circles, washi tape. This picture you can flip down. I'm going to come to the back pocket, and this picture, I made this pocket here, and originally I did not mean for the pig picture to be on there, but I set it down just gathering my stuff up, and I'm like, oh, I love how that looks down there. So I put the pig on there, put some brown washi tape, and then I just included, I had 4 leftover pictures that I didn't use, that I printed out, that I just tucked back there, and he can do as he wishes with them. So that is his journal. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.